fun.
Alright, the controller is yours.
Okay.
Yeah, we can switch chairs. Actually, I'll probably just clean this one off, since it's got like 3 jackets in it. Do you know where you're headed?
No. I don't even know the controls. It's been so long.
Yeah, feel free to like mess around with the controls. The good news is in terms of upgrades and that, like, I've gotten all the treasure charts, you've gotten all the upgrades, so arrows, bombs, those are both at 99. Magic's doubled. I think I told you that I had to do the Savage Labyrinth 3 times.
Yeah.
Because of that stupid thing that they put in there where it's like, hey, you can go back from floor 30 if you step backwards into the light that's directly behind the chest you have to open. Also, I will warn you, because of how the setup is, you're hearing the sound slightly lagged on that and not on that, so...
Okay.
Thankfully, there's no sound-based offense in this game, but... don't trust in terms of your timing.
Okay. I'm going...
Tower of the Gods.
Tower of the Gods. Okay.
Should be the giant circular one that's on the
Yes.
map, yeah.
This in. Oh, dude.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, that's nice.
You don't... Yeah, the best part is, like, play the Wind's Requiem real quick. The first one. Just using the right stick. And, like, just change the wind to whatever you want. Alright, now, remember how you had to do that over and over? Now do it again. Just play the same song. You don't have to sit through the animation anymore.
Oh, nice.
It only plays it once whenever you first turn in the game again, and then after that you just get to do it. Which is great for, I don't know, the Wind and Earth temples where you have to play the command melody like 86 times. Just for those, Ballad of Gales. Yep. You just fly through the air like that.
I just know that at some point there's going to be a mod for God of War that replaces the boat with King Leon. I don't know if this is this boat.
I'd believe that. I will say, replaying through this game, I did figure out, like, the #1 problem that Wind Waker has. The pacing in this game is awful.
Yeah.
Just guess the difference between how many hearts you can have between starting the 2nd dungeon and the 3rd dungeon.
Huh.
Whenever you go into Forest Haven, at most you can have 6 hearts. Starting the Tower of Gods, you can have 14.
Jeez.
That's insane. Like, you don't even have the bow and arrow at that point, and you can get that many. Because that's, like, all the stuff you can do with the eye reefs, because you've got, like, you get the bombs and the ability to free travel, and that gives you, like, that many heart pieces.
Yeah.
Like, that's insane. Oh, you did it. You got the Triforce.
Yay.
Man, if only with that. It reminds me of, oh, which ones is it, like, where you almost get the Triforce at the start of the game? It's the Oracle games, right?
Yeah.
Where he, like, goes up and almost touches it, and then it doesn't work.
I've never seen this part of the game before, so this is all new to me.
I think you'll probably like this part of the game. I will probably have to help you with one puzzle, because it took me a long time to figure it out. Mostly because this game came out when I was 8. No. Was it 03 or 02?
I don't know.
I think it might have been late 02, actually. But it also might be 03, and I could be thinking of Mario Sunshine. I think it was 02. Either way, I was 7 or 8, so I was way too stupid to figure out the puzzle.
I'm usually pretty good with Zelda puzzles.
They probably actually give you a hint somewhere, and I was just like, I didn't play video games to read. I don't remember if you remember doing this like area before where it's full of monsters.
Yeah.
That part was cool.
You can jump it.
You actually have to do that in Tower of the Gods. There's a section you have to use the Deku Leaf to fly over some electricity.
It's like you have so many hearts, just walk through.
Yeah. Even in hero mode, because like this game's pretty easy by and large. The combat's like really smooth, especially when you consider the previous game in the 3D titles was Majora's Mask Ocarina of Time style.
Mm-hmm.
Like by and large, this game's pretty easy in terms of survivability.
Mm-hmm.
She turns, oh my god, it's Ganon in a dress!
I believe it. Gandorf's like really weird in this game. I'm ready for combat.
We'll try. Just got done playing Soul Calibur where the attack button in this is the guard button in that, so...
True. What you want in this one is parry. That's so good.
It's cool that they kept it very like, this is obviously serious business, but kind of kept that little bit of
Yeah.
like, not kiddie, but kind of like that like
Toony.
Toony, just kind of toned it down a little bit. It sounds serious, but not like it takes itself like the utmost seriously.
I love how the hits like add to the music too. Open that spoiled.
Good dog, what is that?
It's supposed to be like I think some sort of iteration of wolf.
It looks like a pharaoh.
But it's completely different based on the game because Twilight Princess, they're, I think, outright humans, just like really heavily skilled and trained humans.
They look like one of those like Egyptian pharaoh hounds.
Yeah.
He almost looked
Jackal
like a cat
slash Anubis type thing.
Yeah. Jackally. Do you need that, or you just keep it?
I want it.
Oh. Oh, this is still. Oh.
I'd forgotten too when you actually, because like, you have to beat the game once in order to play as Outset Link. I'd forgotten they like changed the dialogue in a lot of sections.
Oh, yeah?
All the spots they talk about is green clothing. Instead, it's like blue clothing with the little like shellfish oyster thing that it has. Whenever you get the clothes normally, Errol's like, wow, they seem like they do way too more for you. But in this game, she's like, it doesn't seem like you changed your outfit very much because it didn't change at all.
Yeah.
Can you even wash your clothes? It sounded like a balloon being stretched.
It did. It really did.
Did you like that zoom in back to Link?
Yeah, that's good. That's good stuff. This is probably the area that I feel the weirdest about in playing this game because I love like this huge open grassy area, and then I get reminded that this doesn't show up anywhere else in the game because Wind Waker's like majority of it is sea.
Yeah.
And so it's really weird to have like this huge area that's a lot more like its predecessors than this game. Try using the boomerang real quick while you can't like lock on, and like actually try to move while moving yourself, like moving the boomerang while moving yourself. It's really awkward.
Yeah, this is weird. How do you do that?
You have to, yeah, it's like really a really strange angle. Now try and imagine doing it while you're left-handed.
Oh, jeez.
They actually make you do that in Forest Haven. There's a spot where you have to move and hit 5 targets that are all around the room. I don't think that's a fault of Wind Waker so much it is a fault of the Wii U gamepad.
Yeah.
Because I don't remember ever having that issue in the original game.
Things.
Get all those rupees, even though the wallet's full.
Yeah.
You can get way too much money in this game. It also helps that you only have to decipher 3 of the Triforce charts in this game instead of all 8. They're the ones normally where you go to pick it up, it just gives you the piece of the Triforce. That works. You can do a spin attack with it too if you do like the... Yeah, like that. Works with the Dark Nut swords too.
Cool.
Oh, speaking of Dark Nuts. I was hoping that would like knock off his back armor.
It's like he's got all of the range. How is he not hitting you?
He's not used to that weapon. He was using the Moblin's weapon. Wow, that actually made it across. No way. I didn't think that would. It's also probably the first 3D game where the hookshot's not really that useful in terms of like how many times you get to use it in game.
Yeah.
Because you don't get it until the post-Wind Temple, and it's used for like getting to Diamond Step Island, like a couple other small things. And that's about it outside of the temple.
Is this your favorite sword?
Yeah. It's kind of weird that you have to move to the center of the sword to pick it up, not the handle.
Yeah, it is a bit odd.
No.
You're just too tiny.
I don't get to take you with me.
Oh, you should just pick it up and carry it. Aw.
We'll take this one.
Nice.
No.
Or not. Or you can just throw it against the wall.
Ganon's Tower. Going from having played this game in years to playing the last temple.
Oh, trust me, you're gonna like this. This is actually probably one of my favorite iterations of Ganon's Tower, aside from one segment.
It's like the Dominus Cavern. That looks like a thing from...
Jorah's Mask.
yeah.
Little thing whenever you go and try to beat a boss later after you've already beaten it once. Hope you like monochrome, by the way. I forgot about this puzzle. This was one I screwed up on quite a bit as well, because I was an idiot.
You're gonna have to hold it. Take it.
You're still doing it better than what I did. I tried to like literally like let go of the grapple and then try to use it in midair and grapple the other one. I thought that was what you had to do. I was like, this is really hard.
That seems like the better way to do it.
There is an easier way to do it than actually like the way that you're trying. It's just like I didn't think of it at all until I watched somebody else do it.
land on it.
Yeah, like I noticed that even when I like started playing the game with like the part where you have to swing across the lamps and the pirates thing, is you go way farther than you think you're gonna go. I was letting go of the button like halfway through my swing and still making the jumps.
Come on.
The skulls?
The water things.
I don't really know, because again, the easy way to solve the puzzle doesn't involve them. I think you might have just done it without it, though.
How do I... This is too short, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be too short. Alright, so the trick for this is keep climbing up. Like, go completely still and just keep climbing all the way. That's the trick. You can stand on all those platforms.
Ah.
I had no clue, because it does not look like you should be able to stand on that. So you can just stand on one and then just grapple the other and just keep doing that over and over until you make it through.
Huh.
Alright, on to the monochrome.
Yeah, really.
Just jump off twice.
Well, tell them that you're in the middle of a boss fight.
Ah, no. I have this thing. Okay.
Yeah. They actually, like, pull an old school on you, and you only have the weapons that you would have when normally fighting this boss.
I took this. Awesome.
Do you want any help with it?
Nah, I'm good.
Since I've been watching somebody do a Windbreaker randomizer, I got to watch them fight Goma with a fully powered up Master Sword in like the original fight, and it went down really quickly.
Yeah.
Crack. It's the fat dragon. Yeah, that was beautiful. That was not on anybody's watching end, by the way. That was the actual game that did that. That happened on Pokemon when I was playing it the other day too. It just tanked like a rock on something I didn't expect it to.
Yeah.
It really did not like somebody sending out a search kit, I guess. Speaking of that, maybe it's because it's trying to like load all the assets of the falling stuff combined with like using the monochrome asset. Because it's probably just like patched in on top of the actual asset. 'Cause I don't remember it lagging at all during the typical fight.
Time's a charm. What?
It's always 3 with almost every Nintendo boss. Up until about 2010 when they realized we use number 3 a lot.
That was easy.
Yeah.
Guess what's the first boss in the game? Oh, there's an actual order I'm supposed to do this in.
You don't have to do it in any specific order. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
And I do have the great spin for the Earth Temple boss if you want to do it the cheap way. That's how I did it earlier. But it looks like you're doing Forest Haven now.
But do you have a bottle of water?
I do, but it's not the magic water. It was the magic water, because that's what I had it for. I used it for doing the stupid Deku Tree side quests. And then I just never got rid of it because I had set a rule for myself that I was only going to have one fairy in a bottle at any given time. Why did I give you arrows? You don't need arrows to get through this room. You don't have arrows in Forest Haven. Not at that point.
Forward link. There you go.
Actually, yeah, I just realized that you actually don't fight the Helmarau King in here, and you don't fight the Andross knockoff that's entirely gods either.
That's right. Let's just do this right.
Yeah. Thank goodness that doesn't ever use up magic.
Yeah. Oh wow. Went up on me.
You did it. Deck Leaf also has a really nice touch too. When you're gliding, it puts like a little icon for where you're actually going to land if you let go of it at that moment. So you actually know where you're landing instead of just having to kind of guesstimate.
Nope, that way, Link. Okay. There we go. And how do I get over there? I see. Okay.
And
It's not low enough.
it'll just do that over time. It'll just go up and down.
Not, it was barely not close enough. Oh, come on.
You might be able to jump and glide to it. Actually, I think it just went away.
I just pushed it away.
Yeah, they might actually force you to glide to it from that point. That would explain why they gave you the like giant jar of magic at least.
Yeah.
I really thought I was just gonna bump you against the side and knock you off there.
I did too. Oh, come on! I hate platforming in early Zelda games.
I'm trying to think like what was the most platform heavy dungeon from some of the earlier ones. In the 3D models at least. Probably the worst one was in for Ocarina was the giant room that was in the Shadow Temple. The like in that room.
Yeah, that one sucked.
Majora's Mask is obviously the last one. Not Inside the Moon, but whatever the other one's called. That I can't even remember the name of.
Stone Tower?
Yeah, that one. The one I try to block out of memory because I hate going through it.
Come on, dude.
Yeah, I would just use your leaf to glide, worst case scenario.
Well, I feel like I'm pushing, like, the direction, and he just goes forward.
That might be more of an issue with the gamepad than the
Yeah.
actual game. Thanks, Wii U.
That or they didn't register, they only registered, like, 8 directions on it.
True. I'm too lazy to shell out for a pro controller for the Wii U.
Well, it may only be designed to register in 8
Yeah,
movements
that could be it too.
instead of, like, all the directions.
That usually is
Fuck
the
you.
fatal flaw for like a lot of remade games. It's just the direction was not designed for it.
To be fair on that one, you just were like a leap of faith in it.
Well, because it was right there, and then it went up on me. Really?
I had a feeling that was going to happen at some point.
Oh my god. Game's just making me day.
Oh, you should have seen me play Super Luigi Galaxy earlier. It was so bad. I like skidded off the edge due to his poor traction so many times. It was awful. Thankfully, that game hands out extra lives like they're candy. You start the game as Luigi and it gives you 20 free lives straight out of the gate. Once you're over it, you could jump slash, I guess. That would stop you from rolling. I like how they put the little, like, tentacle vine things in there and they're, like, not even remotely in the way at all. Probably.
Oh, it actually boosts you up a little bit when you do it.
Oh, would jump with the decker leaf? Yeah. This would actually be kind of hard without the double magic.
Yeah.
I just realized. Alright, time to find a plant. I love that it resets all your items. That's, I very much appreciate that.
Ah, not a fan of that.
Apparently they're redoing Final Fantasy VII, speaking of remakes.
Yeah, it's been in the works for a while. They made a promo trailer for it and then just not heard anything for like at least a year on it. So they're gonna release it like episodes, I guess.
Yeah. Nice. One round. You didn't even have to dump the forest water on it.
No.
Even though I'm pretty sure, again, it's just normal water at this point. Maybe normal water works in that, I don't know.
Let's have guardians of your bosses there, Ganon.
You have to fight that enemy in Forsaken Fortress as a mini-boss the first time you go in there right after you get your sword back.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Which is also dumb because you, like, just got your sword back.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, hey, how do you feel about Redeads? I'll take these over the Floor Masters any day.
Bye.
They will not be missed.
And it comes up, yep.
Mm-hmm.
This is here for a reason.
Correct.
Is this the thing where I have to kill the enemies?
Not quite. You got the right idea, though, with the mirror shield.
Oh god, really? This guy pick him up?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Oh, do you think you had to, like, freeze him while he was on the
Yeah.
button? Oh, no, they wouldn't make you do that.
Oh, what?
You also probably shouldn't throw him. You drop with R in this game. I had that issue a lot when I was starting out the bombs. That'll go away eventually, or you can walk into the light to get rid of him. It's actually a much easier way to kill him that way, because fighting him normally is kind of a pain.
I did.
I'd forgotten how many chew jelly types were in this game. You have red, green, yellow, black, and blue. I think this might be the game where actually they had the most chew types. I think it is. Or ZR, not R.
Let's turn back.
He does after like a set amount of time, but by and large, it's pretty forgiving.
There's the lights over there.
Yeah. Now they give you a lot more from here. Remember, rolling in this game is actually pretty good because you don't have like that slight pause at the end of your roll. So if you need to roll to move fast, you can probably do that too.
What? Really?
Wow, that's so
dickish.
dickish.
That's.
I don't remember them doing that.
before.
I don't remember them doing that before. Oh, that's so mean.
Oh my god.
I seriously don't remember them doing that the last time I played. Like,
Oh, wow.
Just sticking an enemy in there.
I got it all over here.
Oh, nice. Watch them like tossing a whiz rope now. No, you're in the clear.
I remember this fight. I think this is what I'm thinking of.
That would have been even better had they like spawned that, but not done the cutscene, so you just like ran right past the stairs. Now time to fight Fatty Ginormous. Yep. You'd have the power bracelets in the game at this point. And time for a hurricane spin. Real effective flamethrower there. Is it Hurricane Spin or Great Spin in this game? I don't remember. I think it might be Hurricane Spin.
This is the wind thing.
You know, I never tried that against a layer boss. Maybe the Hurricane Spin will work pretty well. See if that works later.
Oh.
He just belly flopped.
Does this work?
What light?
Yeah, I know it keeps moving the light. I remember that much. Don't forget all the skulls. Alas, York. Hold down B. Let it fly.
Oh god. I've never gotten that before.
Really? It's not that hard to pick up in this game. You have to get 10 Knight's Crest and bring it back to the dude that teaches you how to use the sword on the starting island.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Usually you get them from that giant area that you have to go through before coming to Ganon's Tower, because you fight like 30 of them there. If I remember right, all the collectibles have a purpose, because you need the joy pendants for the cabana, that's what you use the Knight's Crest for. You use the Moblet drop for the letter, the chooser for making the jelly, and the feathers are used for that one Rito that wants to give them to his girlfriend. Beautiful. It's just a blob in that image.
Alright, dude.
Bye!
I am the guardian of this room.
What a good guardian he is.
My only weakness is being battered around by a small child.
By a 10-year-old boy. Wizrobe. I can safely say without any stiff competition, there is no worse Wizrobe in Zelda history than in the first game.
Yeah.
They were a menace in the first game. Hi!
See it too, He can stay.
Freaking magic toucans always trying to shoot fireballs at me.
Okay.
Sensing a problem here. Now, if I remember right, you can fly directly between those two things and win. You're supposed to, like, hit a switch somewhere to get rid of them, but I think you can just, yeah, go directly between them. Good game design, guys.
Don't notice the link-sized hole in between.
Yeah. There's a puzzle at the end of the Wind Temple that they want you to do something like really complex for, where it's got like wind that actually tries to blast you backwards from the final door. But if you put on the iron boots and like grab Makar, you can like side hop across the ravine that they want you to fill, and you can just skip the entire puzzle. It takes like probably about 8 minutes off the time it takes to solve that room. Everybody's favorite boss, Moonmaker.
Oh yeah. Or at least favorite boss music.
Oh, the music's so good for this one. Just the hookshot and the sword. I was thinking Majora's Mask, but that works too.
Oh, dang it, what's his name? Because I love him with it. So good.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the one in Twilight Princess that does this. Is it the first one?
No, it's the one.
Oh, Morpha, yeah. Really, the only bad thing about that fight was the fact that it was, you know, underwater, and you had to use the iron boots, which made your maneuverability pretty much zilch.
I like the design of it, though.
Yeah, the design is cool.
I think the this game is supposed to be colorful boss rushes.
Yeah.
Kind of offsets the,
He's just so surprised that you grabbed it.
How did you do this? I don't understand.
Oh, I'm so not used to having to like push it and then push it twice to go.
Yeah.
Alright, get the last baby.
I've actually learned a pretty good strategy for this guy is to not attack the small ones and just focus on him. I've had this like hyped up so bad whenever I was first playing through it. I was like, I've never done well at this boss fight. I'm gonna die in hero mode, and then I beat him without taking a hit. I feel like that would make a good challenge for like a video game convention, is beating hero without taking a hit.
You know what he kind of looks like? Kind of looks like something you'd find in Shadow of the Colossus when it looks like this.
He totally does, yeah.
And it may just be all the coloration, you know, just it being monochromatic.
Could be,
looks like.
since all the bosses are typically one color. Forgot that the hookshot in this game has a shockingly short range. I'm used to Twilight Princess where I can get stuff from like across the map.
Love your just yell when you do that.
just basically a 10-year-old just screaming mindlessly. It's great. Good job flipping the camera through the ground right there, by the way. I guess it is like an unstable ground, so it would be pretty easy to clip a camera through. That would be pretty hard to like deal with that design problem. Nice. And with that, you've beaten not Twin Mold. That was what I was thinking. The only difference is Majora's Mask gets a lot more like, use the Giant's Mask and then just slash like a madman.
Yeah.
There's not really much strategy in that fight at all.
If you're a good aim, the bow can help, but not really.
Yeah. And like in the Georg fight, or not Georg, the goat fight where you can actually like hide in a corner and get him with the bow and arrow.
Go fight. That's collectively everyone's favorite.
I like the Georg fight, but I think I like it because so many people have issues with it, and like if you can get the Zora swing down pat, you can do it pretty easily.
Yeah.
As somebody who had to do it in a 3-heart run, since you don't get your double damage or your double defense at that point, if he swallows you, he kills you. So it's like a one-hit boss. Mini blends. No one likes mini blends.
How am I supposed to get that?
Boomerang? Perfect. Gonna take a selfie with the next boss fight in here.
Gonna try.
You do know who this boss fight is coming up, right?
No.
Alright, that's where you gotta go. But you need something to be able to
Maybe you won't see me. It's funny. I do like when he's more animated as a character.
It's my boat.
Oh, okay, I remember this. This took me a second to remember what you're supposed to do here. Now I remember.
Just use your retrieve boat.
Retrieve boat.
Why can't I?
Tragically, there is no opponent song in this game.
Why can't I read that? Just say.
I don't think you're actually supposed to read it. So what you're supposed to do is hit the switches in a certain
I
order.
didn't realize this was-
Yeah, and if you go across the way, it tells you what order to hit them, because I don't remember. I think the third might be first, the first might be second, the third might be the fourth, and the fourth might be the second. So 3, 1, 4, 2, maybe. If I actually got that right, I'd be impressed. I'm willing to bet I'm probably wrong on this, unless I have insanely good memory skills, or I get really lucky.
It's usually some kind of pattern like that.
Dude, no way. Yeah! Wish I had that kind of memory for any exam I've ever taken.
Yay, boat.
To be fair, that cinematic of him crawling up was a bit creepy. So this is basically your get back to the surface portal. Oh, no? Maybe it's not. Oh, no, it is. Okay. No thanks.
Bye, boat.
You have to talk to him one last time before finishing
Hey
the
man,
game.
you want to leave? The whole interaction is like, oh, we can go back to the surface. That's
Where
that
it's
sounds
nice.
nice.
Yeah, this would be the thing that would tell you. 1, 2, 3, 4. I am still shocked that I got that right. The only one I was like pretty certain on was that the first one was the third. Yeah, okay, this must have been how I didn't get that puzzle then. Okay. Either that or I didn't understand that when this game came out. I think you have to play the Wind's Requiem on that, like, center thing, maybe? It's an interesting way to summon a boss. No? Okay, never mind. Try to leave, maybe?
No.
This is what happens, because you've never done this, and I've only done it, like, twice, and it's, like, the last time I did is when the HD version came out, which means 5 years ago. Stupid mini ones. Did that just go through
I
the...
didn't get the stuff!
What is going on with this game? Again, you could just boomerang it, but that's weird.
Give me that art.
It's like it hit the floor and then it just clipped through.
Yeah. I had that happen with a chew in Forest Haven where I hit it and it got knocked back and it just dropped straight through the ground.
I can't read names, but someone on chat's offering their assistance.
Yeah, assistance would be helpful because I'm too lazy to look up. Maybe you have to hit it with your sword? That doesn't seem right, though. I'm pretty sure it's a different thing you have to hit it with.
The tip is, just walk through it.
The light temple from... I was really hoping you were going to back up into that bomb. Oh, yeah, I wouldn't have gotten that. Jump into the pit with the candles.
Oh. I swear if you're trolling.
No, I think I remember you having to do that. That's really weird, though. Yeah. Fun fact, I jumped into every single pit that was in the game by backflipping into it. I feel like ping pong.
I did my bow?
No.
Damn
If you want to empty a bottle, you can do it with a bottle.
it. Too much skill.
It's actually easier with the bottle than it is with the sword.
Really?
Yeah, because, like, obviously they pulled it from Ocarina of Time because of how, like, the swing works the exact same in that game, but in this game the bottle has a longer radius of being able to grab things than the sword does of swinging. It's really stupid.
Yeah.
Alright, can you solve the puzzle? My guess is you probably would have gotten it. You would have ran for the right door immediately had you figured it out.
They all look the same.
They do. I know the answer to this puzzle, so I don't need chat to spoil this one.
Let me see.
Shows poorly. I would suggest reading the hint that's on the thing over there one more time before you go.
Oh, does it fall towards the...
Yeah.
Okay.
The hilt of the sword falls towards the door that you're supposed to take.
Okay.
Which is why I was stuck in here for 45 minutes.
all of them drop a sword. It's like,
Yeah, that'd be great. Nice.
Got it. Yeet.
Power spin. but
Where I came from? Really?
yeah, that can happen. I remember one time I got the puzzle in here was just going back and forth through the same door. It was really stupid. Oh, ping pong. It could be worse. It could be the Four Swords ping pong where you actually have to work together to hit it. That'll teach him! You can't deflect the light and an explosion at the same time. Should be the last one, I think. Or it could be full of it. I thought it was 5. Maybe it's 6.
What?
Oh, maybe you're actually like fighting proper here. There we go, that looks different. Oh, well, you got a couple of them back at him. I'd forgotten he could do that in the Wind Waker fight. I thought that was only Ganondorf doing that in the Ocarina of Time fight. And even then, he didn't do it very often.
Get him!
Aha! Any guesses as to what it could be?
Well, Master.
Nope. Staple item, though. The light arrow. This thing is really fucking strong in Wind Waker.
Yeah.
Really strong. Dark Nut one-shotted with its armor on.
Nice. I'm assuming that's...
Nope, not quite.
Ah!
Throw it!
You should test out your new toy, though. Done.
Nice.
Thunk.
Mine.
That'll teach him.
Put a wall there.
Yeah, just keep in mind the light arrows in this game use a lot of magic.
So this game needs to make up its mind. Is this Ocarina of Time's Ganon's castle, or like...
Let's face it, most of the games after Ocarina of Time tried to be Ocarina of Time. This game did, Wind Waker, or not Wind Waker, Twilight Princess did. Skyward Sword kinda did. Not as much, though.
Little wavy on it.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
One shot the Dark Knight. Bye. I think it also guarantees that you get like that little orb drop thing. throw it through both of them.
Huh?
Nice! Not quite what I had expected, but it was still funny.
Oh, God.
What?
I forgot how hilarious the moblins were. Him just crashing into the other guy was so funny.
It actually did damage to him.
It like stun locked him for a second too. He got hit multiple times.
Oh, the wall's full. I have to get him.
Yep. Oh look, Dark Nuts.
What?
Yeah, remember the bow fires like crap in this game. It has this weird angle too when you're not L targeted.
I do.
Sir!
Right in the belt.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, actually, I wonder if you had to kill everything or just those two Dark Nuts at the end.
Alright, better say goodbye to your sword. Yeah.
I'll stab Ganon in the head with this sword.
Just take a selfie with that sword. It's your faithful companion.
Alright, now time for the hardest boss fight in the game. Which is why, of course, it's not the final boss fight.
Sleeps surrounded by sludge.
No. I do like how Link is wading through that water that's like ankle deep as if it's like up to his chest.
Yeah.
It's like it can't be that much resistance on your legs.
I don't know why this is so much creepier.
Creepy. Oceans, 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 oceans.
Does this girl dream of anything but oceans?
There's islands sometimes. All of you.
Brandon, can we have the keys to leave his car?
Yeah.
Randall's fixing to bring the letter home.
Oh, good. He's coming home early. Have fun with that.
Thanks.
If you need me, I'll be streaming. Sucker.
Oh.
I thought you were talking to me. I was like, what ring?
Get in the light, or I can see it because I'm blind as that. Oh, how pretty it is. It's very unusual.
I'm not a big like stone person, and like I had seen these and like that it had like that lacy feel.
Then you also could get a tat underneath it, so if you can't work or whatever. Did you see I've got one?
Yeah, I think you texted it to me.
Well, I know, just that. You know, who would have thought? Really? 53. Actually, I want my other one. Really?
Cat.
Okay.
Sounds like
really?
you have work to do. Move a car, deal with a cat.
Alright, so they love you. Come on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he turned into a puppet while y'all were busy. You know, normal Zelda stuff.
See, it's not the first puppet we've seen,
True.
but the marionette part is throwing me off a little bit.
Yeah, it's a bit creepy. Reminds me of that Courage the Cowardly Dog episode where he turns Eustace and Muriel into puppets.
There's just too much weird shit on that show.
It really was.
Whoa.
Return the slab or suffer my curse.
Do Didn't I just hit that?
It's trying so hard to get it. Oh, I guess because it's moving so erratically.
Yeah. This camera's doing a really good job right now.
That's...
No one can stop my tail.
Finally.
Ah!
Did I hit that?
Yes. Not with your sword, though.
Yes.
Drop it.
You hit it with your brand new toy.
Ah.
Basically, just assume from here on out that you're gonna need the light arrows.
Yeah.
I love that it's trying as hard as it's trying.
This is actually the easy part of the fight. The third stage of this fight is brutal with how fast he moves around. It's really hard to get him.
I like how glossy he is.
Nice.
I'll do that 2 more times. Okay. One, two, bats!
My favorite Nickelodeon show, 1-2 Bats. It's like 3-2-1 Penguins, except better.
Just don't come back till you get it. Thank you.
just stay floating in the air for as long as you need.
Wow.
I'm glad he just slowly pushed that towards you.
Yeah.
That was not a good strategy.
Are you near my weak spot? Let me.
Let me help you out with that. You seem to be having a hard time. Let me just give you a little assistance.
Sometimes it works.
I think it has to get hit multiple times, because even like the ones that aren't moving that much seem like they have to get hit twice. Maybe it's like the big octos where if you use the boomerang you have to hit the eye more than once.
No one know me teal.
Nice, good
That's
shot.
actually a really good fun.
Alright, that's stage 1 of 3.
I mean, I main Hanzo. I'm good with the bow.
Even one as crappy as this when you're not Neltard. Because it shoots like this. It's really weird. It like fires at this weird angle. I've never seen the bow work the way it does before or since this game quite like it does here. That's probably for the best.
Man, Brandon. Jesus Christ. Alright.
Do you like spiders?
Spooter.
It's like a cow spider.
Ah, where's my
Spider cow, spider cow.
my safety pot?
Me and Brandon were I was asking Brandon, it's like, what if we both like Ash when she comes out? Who's gonna get her?
Yeah, really. You'll have to go to like No Limits or something.
I can't even imagine that.
No limits with all ash.
That'd actually be kind of funny.
I saw stuff. It was from when it was showing her abilities and stuff and having her run around.
Yeah.
And when she like shot the dynamite near Brigitte, and I saw that. And
Oh,
then like
yeah.
underneath, it's like when you could feel the nerfs coming.
Yeah.
Because that was
So good.
it's kind of interesting that like everyone is still like all about Brigitte being super overpowered, and it's like, well, like instead of bring her down, they just got someone that can more effectively deal with her.
I like that idea. That part where she like runs by and punches McCree
Yes.
too is so good. His face is just amazing in
It's
that shot.
gonna be interesting, just like their in-game dialogue to each
Oh,
other.
it's gonna be great. Imagine it during whatever they're gonna do for the next event. Oh, it's gonna be phenomenal.
Walk off my safety pot.
I'm,
Send the bats!
I'm already guessing she's gonna be in the roster for next year's Junkenstein,
Probably.
and that'd probably be pretty cool.
That would actually be really cool.
What am I supposed to do?
Do you want advice on how stage 2 works?
Does it involve the pot?
No.
Okay, never mind.
What you're supposed to do is get towards the center of the room and you have to use the water, kind of like in the Twilight Princess boss in the ice level. Then you can see where the thing's gonna fall, and that's how you get it.
Makes sense.
No!
Makes sense.
Which is great, because I remember a lot of people saying, like, the idea of using the ceiling to be able to see where stuff was original to Twilight Princess, and it came out way before anything else in the Zelda series.
Use a light arrow on a bat, will it stop spawning?
No.
The thing is, like, with the marionette concept, I think it's interesting. It just really threw me for a loop in comparison to how they've treated Ganon.
Yeah. It's a very different Ganon in this game than it is a lot of the other ones.
I like that bat was very, get down, Mr. President!
Stop spinning now.
It's that it's by itself, it's a super cool concept, and it's even really interesting here.
Yeah.
It's just so, like, this is not any route I would have ever expected, ever.
Alright, time for the worst one.
Oh, I gotta hit that, I'm guessing? It's
and it's just gonna get faster and faster as it goes along. It's gonna be great.
Don't touch me.
It's kinda super long. Okay, I'm gonna change that to that. Oh, what? No.
Oh, good, those.
No, go away. I don't want you.
Even the frames don't want them. Actually, you know what? That's probably why the enemies constantly respawn. It's probably to give you, like, magic or arrows.
Oh,
I don't know why that didn't register just now.
Ah! Pig snake.
I think if you stand on that center thing, he can't hit you. But I could be wrong about
damn,
that.
that was good.
Does it actually hit him?
Yeah, you did.
Oh, you could slow him down by doing that? What? I didn't know that. That would have made this fight way easier, because he's a pain to hit on this third shot.
How'd you slow him down?
You probably do with an arrow, too.
Just everything get on me. Come on. Come on. Let me so I get rid of you.
You all over there.
Hi, how's it going? Hi.
Did it come with that, man? Welcome to my castle.
It's a great cast.
Pig snake.
Yeah, you have to like bump against the wall to stop taking the dizzy damage, like while you're spinning. He killed one of the dudes.
So high.
Oh, I thought you had that there.
Okay, stop putting all the fuzzy things over there. Please. Please. They're everywhere.
These things are a menace.
And it doesn't want to register the spin properly.
Again, probably the issue from GameCube to Wii U gamepad. Yeah. Time to go kill those things and find magic pots.
I like how he's been leaving
my
you alone
God.
a whole
Whoa.
lot,
Oh
and
my
then
god.
he's like, you know what? I'm not gonna bother with this kid. And then
I'll just run around for a while, get some laps in.
Jeez. Worst part is these things aren't actually
Oh, there's one.
I feel like
good.
He bumped you into it.
Hi, dude.
Wait, could you like grapple over to that torch over there with your hookshot? Presuming he left you alone long enough to do that?
whee!
Nice. I didn't know you'd get up here.
You still got one of those guys on you. Hey,
Presuming that he can't hit you, this might be an easier way to get him. Well, maybe. I could be wrong.
Ah! Barely just missing it.
Yeah!
Nice.
So yeah, easily the hardest part of that fight is stage 3. I'm impressed 8-year-old me actually managed to do that.
When it was like that, it looks like in the grocery stores that you can buy those little worms on the
Oh
street.
yeah! It totally does.
You and me both, buddy.
This is like the first game where they actually show Link after fights like genuinely worn out slightly. Most of the other games, it's like he'll just kind of be like, huh, okay, I'm good. Okay, bye.
Just punch Zelda in the ground.
Superman?
Okay, admit I don't know how to turn on the car.
Wow.
Like you go move it. I tried. I'm pretty sure. I'm lucky it didn't explode.
You just push the brake and then push the button.
Alrighty.
Should we write it down? So you can, so you can
I
remember?
have one too many pills to do, but I'll give it a spin.
I thought you were about to say like, too many drinks.
Anything a drink?
Can you solve the Mr. the Licorice trope? It's a lot simpler than you think it is.
Ganon, you're leaving your
There you
yarn all over the place.
You don't need to swing with this one though.
Yeah, I was trying to stop.
That would be cool. You could just have like a giant rope swinging back and forth across the whole thing. There's always that one kid in gym class.
Yeah.
Just does the rope thing with no problem at all. And apparently also has no fear of heights whatsoever.
Have you not seen him swing those huge ass swords? He's got some upper body
Yeah,
strength.
for a 10-year-old, yeah. Link eats steaks bigger than you, apparently. Though, hands down, my favorite Wind Waker meme is the one where he's got like the super angry face and it says, "Does this look like the face of mercy?" Pots! Your mortal enemy.
One of these, there's gonna be a game and like, it's just a trap that Ganon's laid for you. It's just
Yeah.
a bunch of like really conspicuous
Flo
pots.
Flowmaster comes out and throws one of the pots at you and then grabs you and takes you back to the start of the dungeon.
You fool!
As much as I don't like the floor masters, I love the fact that they can like pick up shit and throw it at you. Like, that's hilarious. It's like, oh, I can't reach him. I'll just throw something at him instead.
Or when Game Grumps were playing it the first time, and threw a bomb at one and it picked it up and chucked it back.
Yeah, bombs aren't very effective on those.
Is this where y'all were coming from? Forget how you open these.
Fire arrows, bombs, or the hammer.
Oh, well, my personal favorite would be the hammer.
I agree.
Hoo-yip!
Hammer doesn't get enough love in this game or any other game it's in. Especially Ocarina of Time. I just want a modded version of Ocarina of Time where you start with a hammer and the hammer can do damage to all enemies, all bosses, and you can just play through with the hammer instead of the sword.
Please tell me it takes me back up.
It does.
Okay, goodness.
They put these in the dungeons throughout the game. There's like a starting one, a middle one, and an end one, so you can like go back to earlier points after you've gotten the dungeon and pick up treasure charts.
That's right.
At least that's usually what they're for.
Fairy.
Oh, yeah, I already got one.
If you want to replace the water with a second fairy, that's fine. You don't have to abide by my rules.
Rules concerning the water.
No, the rule of only having a bottle at any given time.
Oh, okay.
What was it trying to make you lock on there for a second?
Well, you know, what's the point of having the... Oh, okay.
Okay, that's a bit weird.
That's...
Okay, I think I just had a brain aneurysm. I finally got it.
You've done it.
It's a cool car.
Thank you.
Less cool than an old lady.
It's the part where I remind me that my car's 6 years older than hers.
We...
Yay. time? It is the final arena. Nice butt shot there. I guess Final Fantasy X did come out around the time of this game, because that was 03 or 02 as well. That's a good face right there. Forgot for a minute his hand was sideways. I'm like, that's not the Triforce of Courage on his hand. Good thing that didn't go a little bit farther to the left. You've only had the Triforce of Courage actually like embedded in you for like what? An hour and a half? Is it Twinkies?
I just want to be understood.
But he was too busy monologuing.
I just love that. Just the try me, bitch.
So much anger in that face.
I love just the pause right there. Just like,
Oh.
I did say that.
It's always funny when they break the fourth wall by showing people should never monologue whatever they're saying.
I like this head is still out.
Like, well. Now he's just looking for a high five.
He's not gonna put his hand down.
No! I wanted him. It's like when Waka laughs in Final Fantasy X at the start of the game. They like zoom in on his mouth.
Just like, you're so funny.
Another good meme picture there where he's just squinting at her. What do you mean you overslept? She actually did take your bow, by the way.
I use this bow, and by this bow, I mean your bow.
You won't be needing it.
It's on you, I won't even shoot it.
If only she was Tetra instead of Zelda, then maybe she'd use the bombs.
I like his little tassels on his swords.
Megaton hammer.
You can't surprise me with the sword, with this, the hammer boy.
Pip slap.
And done. Yeah, so you'll have to parry whenever it gives you that option too.
Kinda just lucky he didn't decide to just stab her through the
Yeah,
face.
really.
What did you just do?
I think this might be one of those fights where actually only the sword can damage him anyway. Yeah.
This garden doesn't work.
No, I don't think so. Well, I mean, it works, but you don't get the parry option for guarding. Also, don't forget you've got the Granny Soup and a Blue Potion, too, if you need them. Which are all... The Elixir Soup will work twice. There's full heal, full magic, and double attack until you get hit.
Damn, Grandma had you set.
I thought it gave me the parry after his attack was over.
Oh, no!
What?
With Zelda knocked out in the background.
How do I turn around?
With X, I believe. You almost had it. If you use the D-pad, you can change facial expressions too.
Look how annoying
Okay,
you
what
are.
is it to actually take it?
I think it's ZR.
Okay.
I'll watch for the commands. No, it's A.
Fuck.
Just replace it with any of them, I don't care.
Do you know any of these on the moon?
I don't need those now. That was for a side quest early in the game.
Oh,
Oh, did you like try to send it to Miiverse?
I guess
Maybe
maybe.
accidentally.
Oh, you have to erase it first with X. Yeah. Oh, did it not take it? It might have sent you to the album.
Oh,
instead.
dang it!
I think it sent you the album. It's A to take the picture, though. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is.
Maybe since you were just full. He's giving you a second.
He's running freaking.
Oh, he can fly. I didn't realize that.
Why does it always put me like in a weird, like facing the wrong way?
Yeah, it does. There we go, perfect. I would have laughed if you just needed like one more hit to kill him. Though I'm pretty sure this is phase 2 of 3 in this fight. Pick up Sleepyhead for the 3rd time. So I think the idea is you have to have Zelda behind him, like directly behind him, so whenever she shoots a light arrow, it hits him. Also, you're running low on health.
Pretty soon.
Oh, maybe you just had to survive a certain amount of time. Alright,
I aim for you.
use your shield. So you bounce it off of her shot, and then... She's also not a very good shot, I will warn you.
She's just like, you? I gave you one job, Link.
Alright. There you go, fight over.
Crazy if you just added blood.
Oh,
how
that'd be great.
gruesome things would get.
Oh, that'd be so good. Most cartoony Zelda game to date ends with you literally stabbing Ganondorf through the head. I like how they got away with that, yet they had to like change the blood in Ocarina of Time that he like vomited to green to make it look like vomit.
I know, in this one he's just a dude.
Yeah.
It's not even like, oh, he's a monster. It's just like...
It's just straight up, like, it's just a guy. Hi. You still look really angry for some reason.
I could have helped, but I didn't.
You guys had it under control.
It's the ultimate power move.
See, it'll be great. You can go back to the old days, and then there'll be like some kid walking with his mom. He'll be like, "Mommy, why is there a man in stone with a sword in his face?" Ganon is now the stone with the sword. Nice.
Land is your land, Zelda.
Have you ever had the displeasure of watching a Watch Mojo video on YouTube, by the way? They do like a lot of top 10 stuff. They did one for top 10 like saddest Zelda songs. They put that song and like Moment over Midna almost dying in Twilight Princess.
Really?
Yeah. It's like, okay, yeah, it's kind of sad that, you know, like, he basically made a mistake and he can't go back because he's bound to this world, but like, it's not as sad as that. They put it over that. They put it over, like, the Skull Kid having the Giants walk away from him whenever he gets left behind because all the stuff he's done. It was a very questionable top 10 list.
And it was for just moments?
Yeah.
Or for...
Like, the moments were good. They were just all in the wrong order. The second one was Link's Awakening, the end of the game of Link's Awakening, where he wakes up and, like, the whole island disappears because it was all in his head.
Yeah.
They put that above, like, a bunch of stuff. It was really weird. And the one where, like, Midna actually quote-unquote dies, like, where Ganon crushes his helmet, that wasn't on the list at all. It was really strange.
You're so tan now!
Yeah.
Glad she's back to being Tetra. That was one criticism of this, where it was like, oh, Tetris is this like really cool, badass pirate female character, and then she turns into Zelda and is the most boring character.
Yeah,
ever.
like, very one-dimensional, useless, just sits in the castle, doesn't do anything till the end of the game. Like, the very end of the game. I don't know.
dress goes on, and then it's just like, okay.
Yeah. I don't know. Something gets lost there. Something definitely gets lost there with Tetra's character. If the wave and synchronized. It's even better because in the actual game, you can see like Tetra starts waving and then he starts waving and they go like off thing and the camera actually clips Link's arm where they start doing it together. It's really weird. Yeah, and then in Phantom Hourglass, Tetra's stoned for the entire game. True. Out of the way, Tetra, we've got Linebeck now. Don't get me wrong, I love Linebeck, but I'd probably pick Tetra over Linebeck for characters I think would have like more potential.
Oh yeah. Speaking of great characters, you need to watch Castlevania because season 2 just came out and it's amazing.
Nice. I still need to watch season 1.
It's that me and Brandon loved season 1, and then season 2 came out, and just it's that they did such a good job with being like, this is like the antagonist of the entire show.
Yeah.
And you get him through every step of the way. You're like, I don't agree with you, but I love you. You know, like, I get
Yeah.
where you're coming from throughout. They kept him so freaking relatable.
And that's an important thing to have for an antagonist, because sometimes if they just like show up, especially like what they did with Ganon in Twilight Princess, where it's like, oh, it's supposed to be Zant the entire game, and then like the last 5% of the game's like, hey, by the way, Ganon's alive.
And even like the other
Okay.
things introduced that are like, oh man, this might be a big deal. They handle it so much, so like, oh my god, like. It's hard to like not spoil, and it's really short. It's pretty short, so it's easy to just.
Well, season 2 was
through.
8 episodes, and then season 1 was like.
Yeah, you told me it was like 4 or 5.
But it's that they take all the details, so it's like a lot of like more like the inner workings of stuff as opposed to getting it like the first one's getting it all set up and like motivations, and then the other is just really nitty gritty in the what happens at each step of the thought process.
Makes sense. So you finally got to beat Wind Waker.
I did, yes. I
Finally checked that off the list.
Yeah, I never beat it because when I would get to the point where you have to go, and this was back when you had to do all 8 of the Triforce charts, I'd get to that part and just give up because that was everything I didn't like about the game.
That's entirely fair. So, like, what's the big criticism for the HD version? I mean, obviously, I still said the pacing. I feel like some things got made better. They fixed that. They gave, like, the Swift sail. Was there, like, any other big things you really didn't care for in the remake? And the pacing really isn't something you can fix, per se, in a remake.
Yeah. I feel like they could have done a better job of optimizing the controls for new controllers.
God, could they have done that better? Oh, man.
Because it definitely suffers from that. Like, some of the older games where you push, like, an off direction, like somewhere in between, like upright and up.
Yeah.
And it just registers as one or the other. So you're like trying to be real precise with your movement. You just walk forward.
Just goes like from that one notch to like the 3rd or 4th. Yeah.
Also, like games that just like there's just something about how Link slowly turns that just makes it feel really unresponsive.
Yeah. Feels like you're driving a car almost, where you either have to let go of the gas a little bit, or you just have to like stop and kind of do like a 3-point turn sometimes.
Yeah, I feel like when I'm playing a game, my character's looking forward and I push back, they should just turn to face back, not slowly turn 180 to face the direction you're pointing.
I'm trying to think if there was any other like really big issues I had while going through this that I like really was noticeably bad. Couple again with the Savage Labyrinth, a couple of issues with the spawns of like taking you back outside. Oh hey, a Floor Master. It just went off screen. But it would be like, oh, here's your prize, and it's like floor 30 of 50, and it's like, yeah, you need to go that way to continue, and then I just turn around and take one step, and it just sends me back to the start. Maybe just, because I swear that was not an issue in the original game. I swear it was like way back in the corner in the original one.
Yeah.
I started this, right? Yeah, I started this.
How far did you get? Do you remember?
I went past the first boss, and I think I started doing sailing stuff. But it was more so that, like, once it got to the heavy sailing part, I just wasn't invested enough to come back the next day to play.
That's entirely fair. I did about, like, I had a list in, like, what order and the fastest thing to do stuff, and I think I spent, like, a little over 5.5 hours from, like, beating Forest Haven to, like, here's the world opened up. So we did, like, a stream, like, okay, we're filling in the entire map, and then it's like, okay, here's half the side quests, and here's the side quests with all the bombs. So there was, like, a couple streams. I think this took 8 parts, and half of that was just, like, complete side quests for 4 of those streams.
Yeah.
So pacing's a big issue there.
Yeah, it's...
I feel like it could have benefited from, like, maybe one more dungeon, too. Because the Forsaken Fortress doesn't really feel like one.
Yeah.
Either time you do it. The first time it's like, okay, this feels like more of a, this is how you control Link without the sword, so you can kind of get more used to the mobility. And then the second time you just breeze through it, because you're like, well, I've got the Master Sword now.
Yeah.
You have to use the hammer a little bit, but the boss fight's the only thing that really makes it feel remotely like an actual dungeon.
I like the boss in that one, though.
Oh, the boss is great. It is 2002.
It's...
This remake came out.
Oh my
5
god,
years
at the
ago.
very end, just
Overslept.
You bitch.
could have helped for you
Really, you got captured, really?
That being said, like, the gameplay feels really smooth. The music is phenomenal.
Oh,
The
yeah.
colors are phenomenal. Much like crapping on this game, like, I would give this probably like a solid 7.5, 8 out of 10 for the remake. Original game probably is hitting closer to like a 6 with some of the issues, but a lot of the issues get fixed, thankfully, in this. So I'd give this probably like an 8 after playing it again.
Yeah. The control thing doesn't really come up a lot when in combat. It's mostly the platforming stuff that affects.
Yeah.
So that's where it gets kind of frustrating for me, but other than that, it doesn't really notice it the rest of the game.
And really half of it's more the fault of the controller than the actual game, per se.
Yeah.
I don't think the gamepad's suitable for this at all.
No.
It would have been interesting to see how it would have worked with, like, the Wiimote or the Wiimote and the Nunchuck. That could have been interesting.
Yeah.
But I guess you already have that with Twilight Princess, so... But then I never did Twilight Princess on the GameCube. I think it probably would have felt more natural on the GameCube.
I
The
first
only
played
shitty thing about it is you don't get 3 item slots. You only get 2.
Yeah.
That's the downside.
I first played it on the GameCube. That was my first game on because I didn't have a Wii at the time, and it worked pretty well on there. Like, again, yeah, you only had 2 item slots.
There was never a need for 3 at any given point,
Yeah.
really. Here there's just a couple sections where 3 works, like fighting the Southless dude. You drop a bomb, it blows him up, and then you can stun him with a boomerang and the hammer one-shots him. So you have to have all 3 items equipped.
Yeah, it's just... I feel like you either... It's... For me personally, it felt like the sailing stuff was very like, this isn't how I really want to go
Yeah.
about a game. Because
Part of me wonders if that was intentional because the game's so easy. Like, you could probably beat this in a 3-heart run easier than any other Zelda.
Yeah.
If not, like, definitely be pretty close. But that also, at the same time, that cuts out a lot of stuff you're doing.
Yeah.
Because outside of that, if you're not going for the pieces of heart, you're getting, like, the double magic, the bomb upgrades, the air upgrades. That's probably it, really.
Yeah.
Outside of what it forces you to go do, like, with the Triforce charts. It has gotten better. Like, the more times I play this, I've enjoyed it more each time I played it, though.
Yeah.
Maybe that's because I kind of knew, like, the little tricks and what to do. Because I imagine, like, in the day with no guide, unless you wanted to, like, buy it for $50,
Yeah.
and no real help on the internet, it probably would have been a disaster in trying to get everything, but I feel like it's by and large better on this.
yeah, and that's kind of... That kind of goes into, like, the topic of people like, you're not a real gamer if you need all these. Like, back in the day, you didn't need tutorials.
It's like, no, you did need them, they just weren't there.
It was a mix of, like, they weren't there, and also as a kid, you've got way more time on your hands than as an adult. Way more. It's like, after you get home from school, you have to get homework done, and then you've got, like, 5 hours to dig around every day, and the weekends you got all weekend.
Yeah.
Now it's like, I've got 2 hours to play this, and I really need to know what I need to do, because
Yeah.
otherwise I'm gonna waste the entire 2 hours and not get
Yeah.
anything done.
And it's like, you're not a better gamer just because you sat there for 6 extra hours figuring it
Yeah.
out.
Like, the only thing it really gives you is just the satisfaction of saying, like, I was able to figure this out, which is
Yeah.
fine, but, you know, some people don't want to do that or don't like doing it or whatever.
It's like one of the things. Okay, it was like when the new Tomb Raiders came out, and it's you click in a button and it shows you where you go.
Yeah.
And people were shitting on that. It's like we didn't need that back in the day, and it was a much better experience. It's like.
Because Resident Evil 6 did that too, and that came out around the same time that they started putting that feature in as well, where you could hit in one of the bumpers and it would just be like, yeah, this is the section you need to go to.
Yeah, then it's like, oh, it's holding your hand. It's like, then don't push it.
Don't use it. The feature's not required.
It's like, go play a game where you need that, like, freaking, Dead Space. Oh my god, you need that in Dead Space.
You're like, I'm glad I have this now.
Yeah, you're too busy getting chased by everything trying to kill you to run around trying to figure out where to go.
By the time you actually get a moment, you're like, right, what direction was I facing a second ago?
Oh my
Like,
gosh.
sorry, you don't want to run around like the same group of trees for 2 hours, figuring out that you just needed to leave.
Yeah. Or jump in the pit with the candles. Like,
Yeah.
I've played this game 3 times and I still didn't remember that.
Yeah, and it's looking back on it, it's kind of conspicuous of like, oh man, why would it be just this chasm? But it's also like, it wouldn't surprise me if it's like, oh, this might be a secret, dead.
Yeah. That's the downside to playing like ROM hacks and stuff. Now every time I play a 2D Mario game, I'm like, if I jump in that pit, is there gonna be a secret or is it gonna kill me?
Yeah.
It's that it's so uninviting.
Yeah.
Because it does the other thing to solve a puzzle, you're already like,
You're like, oh,
okay,
that's
that's
what
the
this room-
purpose of this room.
Yeah, it's like, this is what the room's for. I don't need it for anything else. Yeah.
Then it's like, it has like enough being like, oh, the purpose is up here, this is a distraction, instead of like, no, this is like important for the other room, and then how you
Yeah,
get
it almost
to
seems like it would be a
rest.
trick, like you have to like walk while you're looking around and then you just fall in because you're not paying attention to what you're doing, which is very easy to do in this game. I'm impressed that this is only 20 now on the shop.
Yeah.
The HD remake for Twilight Princess is still 60, sadly.
Yeah.
If it was lower, I'd probably get it and try playing it again. 'Cause I haven't done the HD remake, but I don't know what all they changed in it or made better.
It's good.
I'm trying to remember everything they changed it. I know they reverted it back to the original state as far as now it's not flipped, so Link is left-handed again.
Yeah.
Which is funny because when I first played on the GameCube, so I'm used to things being opposite.
Right.
So when I got it on the Wii, I was like, everything's backwards. I can't find anything, and then now it's back to the original one.
So you've got like the mix of the two.
Yeah, so now I'm even more confused.
And that, meanwhile, like, you lent me the Wii version, and that's my first intro to
Yeah.
Zelda, and then it's suddenly, like, with the remake, it's
I've
like,
only
where do I go?
Yeah, I've only done the Wii one as well, so it would definitely mess with my head. Especially trying to just get out of Ordon Village.
But at
Like,
least,
wait, this is the way to the ranch. I gotta go the other
and
way.
it's probably better having had a big hiatus, as opposed to
Yeah.
it's like, oh, I finished up this one, and oh, look, this came out, now it's flipped, and you're just so hardwired muscle memory into it.
Oh, definitely.
So we have the physical copy if you want to borrow it. Play it on stream or something.
I might, actually. I would be strongly considering that, because now we're done with this. I'm almost done with Pokemon XD. I gotta figure out what to do after that. That just leaves Resident Evil 5 and however long that Nikki takes to finish Mario Galaxy.
Yeah.
Which I might make her do a race against me afterwards, where she has to do 80 stars and I have to do all 120. Because it'd be interesting to actually make her play some of the harder levels. I think it was honestly a good change, though, like doing the HD remake.
Yeah.
Not only so people can actually play it that don't have a GameCube or the copy's too expensive. It's probably not expensive now, but
Yeah.
before this game came out, it was worth likely a decent price. So I think largely it was a good idea to remake it. At least I didn't. I don't know. Like, this feels like a good remake, but then there are Ocarina of Majora ones. Well, mostly the Majora one. The Majora one feels wrong.
Yeah.
Feels like there was too much edited in that one.
Yeah, I didn't like the eyeballs on the bosses. That felt really weird.
Yeah, that was weird. Changing up the boss fights. It's like, oh, people thought Georg was too hard. Let's make him easier. Like with the water temple thing, it's not that big a deal, but like just completely changing a boss fight just doesn't feel right. Oh, there's also apparently new Miiverse collectibles. Also, yeah, we're not going back to the Nintendo Gallery. Screw that. Did you ever try doing that? Oh, God. Imagine if you had to get figurines of characters, so you had to take a picture of every character, every enemy, every boss in the game. Keep in mind, this was also in the original game where you could only have 3 pictures at a time.
Jeez.
people think that is required for part of 100%, and I'm like, no, you don't get anything aside from rupee rewards.
Yeah.
It's stupid. I'm not gonna do it. Even if it was for a heart container, I'd be like, nope, I'm ending the game with 19 hearts. Forget that. Even with 8 pictures, that's asking way too much.
Are there any games? I'm trying to think of like any newer games that are interesting. I feel like I don't have time for anything anymore. It's like I feel like I don't have time to finish the games I've been playing. Like sat down.
Yeah.
It's that like was really loving Horizon Zero Dawn. And then had to put it down because it's like, okay, homework load is getting crazy, and they've it got to the point that they're like, if you need something, go now, and it's like, I just have not been able to comfortably find like a hours-long place that I can just uninterrupted finish it.
Yeah, I know that feeling all too well. I might end up doing the Smash, like, adventure thing when it comes out, depending on what I choose to do next. Oh yeah, or I could go for all 900 Korok seeds, that'd be great.
Oh god.
I feel bad for the poor sucker that was the first person to discover that reward. That blows every other crappy, like, collect all pose, collect all Skulltula rewards straight out of the water. At least there was only 100 of those.
You found me, but at what cost?
Oh, really?
Yep. That's insane. It's not that much.
Like,
What is
900?
Oh, yeah.
And then you get a literal piece of poop when you're done.
Yep.
It's great. Whoever did that's gonna burn in hell for so long. Everyone's like, you did not do that.
That's not just the biggest troll.
I think, really, I can think it's funny because I wasn't one of those poor suckers that actually tried to do that. For anybody that has, you have my condolences, A. And B, you're probably very angry about those.
Like, it was a nice touch to, like upgrading how much stuff you can hold.
Yeah, that part's fine.
And just running through the game just by yourself and finding all of it, I feel like you have more than you wind up with more than enough slots.
Yeah. Maybe they'll do DLC where they knock it up to an even 1,000. We'll stick in another 100 more for people that have toiled through this.
Yeah.
God, that would be awful.
The final fight of the DLC for Hero Champions Ballad was good.
Everything else was
I
crap.
don't like anything else about it. I thought they promised there was going to be like a new area to explore, and there wasn't. They didn't add anything to the map.
Some shrines, right?
They added like 3 shrines per temple that there was, and then they added a new dungeon. Then the final boss fight, which was really dope.
How was the dungeon?
There's
yeah,
short.
Oh. Sure, it definitely felt like DLC then.
Yeah.
Oh well, that's a bit disappointing. Alright, well, I guess we will call it a stream here. I will see you guys probably next week, depending on how much this bastard tries to kill me over here. Stupid 2-week unit. Ugh, never again. At least not the way they had us do it. Because we've got that thing tomorrow night. I'm assuming the Greers are still good for that, maybe?
Haven't heard on the contrary.
Okay, so as far as we know. Maybe a stream tomorrow, maybe not. We'll find out. Either way, we'll see you next time.